Hi everyone, it's Mike Hill here again from Veg-net, and this morning I am joined by Indy Kaur from Plant Futures, the founder of Plant Futures. How are you this morning, Indy?
Hey Mike, I'm doing well, thank you.
I know it's a bit early, but we're bright and breezy this morning, aren't we? Have you got a
Yeah.
busy day ahead?
Good good question. I'm gonna say yes because it normally is.
I'm sure you have. Every day is busy for you because you're an incredibly busy lady, and we're seeing all this fantastic work you're doing that we're going to talk a little bit about today. So, just to start off with, those people that aren't aware of Plant Futures, tell us a little bit about it and what you're trying to do with this organisation.
Yeah, sure. So Plant Futures is an agency. We work with lots of plant-based businesses, and it goes from brands, suppliers, retailers, all the way up to investors as well. And the idea of Plant Futures is to help accelerate the shift towards a healthier, more sustainable, and animal-free food system. So what we do is we probably work on three specific areas. One is we work with businesses to help and support them depending on their needs. So it could be their route to market strategy. But then we also partner with NGOs, and we also develop new insights, which I know we'll touch on in a minute.
Yeah, we will do indeed. And how long have you been doing this, and how do you end up running this or founding this organisation? What brought you to this point in your career?
So I launched Plant Futures in June 2021. And that was on the back of my role at Tesco. So effectively it was my dream job. And I absolutely loved working at Tesco. I coincidentally fell into the plant-based project. So I was working with the team to develop the plant-based strategy there across all food categories, for Wiki Kitchen and for Plant Chef. And it was around 2020, 2021, actually, just as we were just at the start of COVID and lockdowns, when I felt that this market was going to go through a really difficult time,
Mm.
and we're creating a future of food that doesn't exist right now. So it requires some radical thinking. It requires people to think a bit differently. So I set up Plan Futures so it could just do that. It's an organization that sits outside of big industry but works back in with industry, and we just think a bit differently, and we kind of answer some of the big questions.
Yeah, yeah. I think the timing is absolutely right because it's almost during the period of challenge that we've got at the moment of stabilizing and rationalization and almost becoming a more mature market that we need to really focus on better insights and better understanding of the sector, don't we?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I think one of the things is, I mean, the food industry is amazing. Like we're in one sense, we're highly innovative, but then in the other sense, we're also a bit of a dinosaur. Like big things actually happen very slowly.
Yeah,
And insights are absolutely key. But because the food industry is so big and there's so many stakeholders, when you have a nugget of insight, it ends up becoming quite diluted. And then the richness. So we've been going after taste and texture for such a long time. Like we dropped the price of Plant Chef, and it didn't back then make a material difference. So whereas in dairy oats, we know price isn't a problem. People have been paying more for dairy oat milk. So we've been paying like 30 or 50p more for an oat latte than for
yeah,
a cow's milk latte. So we got to a place a few years ago where actually I felt that the insights were so diluted that they almost become meaningless, and we were
mm,
riding in different directions, which wasn't the right direction.
yeah. Okay, that brings us on nicely to one of the reasons that we're working together on VegNet is we're going to be launching some, or releasing, I should say, some brand new bespoke insight which we're commissioning. We're working with Viper, who are probably one of the leading consumer insight panels within the F&B space. So tell me a little bit about the research and insight we hope to get out of this work that we're going to do with Viper.
Yeah, sure. So it's going to be exciting. So, and it's only a few months away now. So we're going to build on some of the research work that we've been doing since 2023, actually, and we're going to answer more of the questions that still need answering. So we know that up to 40% of the UK population are open to trying plant-based food, but they haven't done it yet,
Yeah,
and they're looking for more information. We don't actually know what information they're looking for. And it might be more of an emotional hook than a logical rationale why they should. So we're going to look at a bit more about how do we help and how do we influence this 40% of the UK population to now want to eat more plant-based food, and what information are they looking for? And then we're also going to look at flexitarians in a bit more detail. One thing that's come through from a series of workshops that we're running here in the UK is that we haven't actually defined flexitarians within the industry. We all have a slightly different definition. No one actually has a very clear definition of plant-based, and we have this concoction of things that just need a bit of ironing out, which will happen through the workshops we're running. But what we have found out, so we just ran a piece of insight work with the Vegan Society. And what that also showed was there's a proportion of flexitarians and vegetarians that aren't wanting meat alts to taste like meat.
Right.
And if that's true, so that's 20 to 30% of flexitarians. If that's true, which it is true, but we just need to understand a bit more about it.
Yeah.
How do we face into that? So that's not to say that all meat alts need to now stop tasting like chicken, but it probably will tell us that we need to have meat alternatives that also don't taste like chicken or don't taste like beef, if we want to get through to more flexitarians and into more households. So it's going to be really important for us to get some concrete, rich insight, and then to be able to help give more clarity and guidance to brands and businesses. What's really interesting about all of the work that we're doing and the work that we're going to be doing with you, Mike, is that it's not just about the UK. So it's everything that we're doing here. It's almost like the pilot for the rest of the world. So we're incredibly close with the US market and some of the European markets. So we'll start rolling out our findings, but we'll release this at the Veg-net conference.
That's fantastic. It's going to be a highlight of the event, and it's great that it's wider than the UK, because, as you know, we've probably got 30-40% of our buyers are coming from the EU, Middle East, and Australia. And we've got a really good contingent of brands, up and coming challenger brands, coming over from Holland as well, who are interested in the UK market. Indy, that's been absolutely fantastic. Look forward to the event. Everyone is now only a couple of months away, 5th of June at London Stansted Radisson Blu. Any brands or buyers that are interested in attending, just drop me a message on the link below. Thanks again for your time, Indy. Really look forward to seeing you at the event.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Bye now.
Bye.